Hello. Welcome, Eric. I need to click on the window in order for this to work. There we go. So we have 4 more endings left that we need to unlock. And now we get into a decision immediately. So choose between lounge, infirmary, or crew quarters. Crew quarters.
Oh, Sigma. Perfect timing.
You were in the crew quarters before, weren't you?
Yeah, it was. Vi, Alice, and I went through all the rooms.
Did you find anything suspicious?
Suspicious, huh?
Like a secret door or something?
No. If I had, you'd really think I wouldn't have told you?
Anything else out of the ordinary, perhaps?
You really want me to say it? Out of the ordinary?
What's this book?
Huh? Oh. That's a book, a meowed cat.
A meowt?
Oh, sorry. It's just this thing that's happened to me ever since I was a kid. Whenever I start talking about cats, I start talking like one. It doesn't really mean anything, though.
Okay.
They don't believe it.
That's weird.
It is.
So what's the cat book about?
Oh. Well, there's this quantum physics thought experiment called Schrodinger's cat. This book talks about it.
Oh, yes, I've heard about that. A cat is put in a box with a device that has a random chance to release a poison which will kill the cat. That means the cat is both alive and dead until someone opens the box.
Tell me you got that, Eric. Nope. Exactly.
Something like that, right?
Meowby.
What?
I don't really know anything about it. I'm just telling you what Vi told me.
So it probably isn't gonna give us any hints then.
Quark, you're doing it too.
Oops.
Well, what about you guys?
What do you mean?
You checked out the lounge with Clover and Tenmyoji, and Quark was in the infirmary with Dio and Luna. Anything suspicious there?
Well, this whole facility is pretty suspicious, but I suppose that's not what you meant. Well, the puzzles in the lounge were lunar eclipse themed.
Lunar eclipse?
Yes, apparently there's supposed to be a lunar eclipse on December 31st, 2028.
So that's an actual fact. So we're going to be looking for a lunar eclipse on December 31st on 2028. That's going to happen in 4 more years. Am I going to play this game in 4 more years? Probably not.
All the puzzles were related to that somehow.
Isn't that this New Year's Eve?
I suppose it is. Well, I can't say I know what year, or even what day it is, but Clover was saying something to that effect.
The 31st, huh? I'd been knocked out at dawn on the 25th. So the 31st would be 6 days after that. Lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse. What did it have to do with any of this? Try as I might, I couldn't think of any way an eclipse could be connected to our abductions. Oh, it's connected. Believe me.
What about the infirmary, Quark? Did you find anything there?
Yeah, we did find something. Just one thing, though.
What was it?
Dio and Luna didn't tell you?
No.
Okay, I got it right here. Just a second.
Quark reached into his pocket and pulled out what appeared to be a newspaper clipping. My throat began to tighten as I read it. Radical 6 infection spread, cure continues to elude authorities. The Radical 6 virus continues to spread across the globe like wildfire. The WHO has confirmed that the death toll is estimated to have passed 100,000 victims. Immediate quarantine of any infected patients is strongly advised. Is this for real?
It seems a little hard to believe.
If it really is some kind of pandemic, though, that sounds like a pretty big deal.
Yes, it does.
See, we're just getting done with because that's going to be the next 4 years where we elect another president. That's not going to bode well if that turns out to be fact. There hasn't been anything on the news, though. This is the first time I've ever heard of the term Radical 6. Was that true, though? Was that really the first time I'd heard of it? I couldn't shake the feeling that I heard Radical 6 somewhere before. But where? And why?
If it is true, then I worry about what might be happening to the world outside. Is there a pandemic raging on the other side of these walls?
Well, I don't think there's any reason for us to get all worried about it. We should just hurry up and try to find out how to get out of here.
Quark has a point. If we want to know what's going on outside, the fastest way to find out is by going outside.
Yeah, you're right.
Good! Mr. K and I will keep searching the cabins then. What are you gonna do?
Guess I'll go somewhere
Okay.
else.
Then we will see you later.
Later. I stepped out of the cabin we'd been in and headed toward the small hallway. Now, where to next? Lounge or infirmary? Got to have those doctors. So, this is the infirmary,
Oh,
huh?
Sigma.
Alice.
What's up with your face? You look like you just saw a roach.
Are
you still angry?
Of course. I'm teetering on the brink of the abyss thanks to you.
I didn't have a choice.
You did.
I'm just trying to get out of here like we all are.
And that's enough to justify screwing someone else over?
That's not what I meant, and you know it. If I'd known for sure that you were going to choose ally, then I would have chosen ally too.
Easy for you to say that now.
What? Am I such a horrible person for wanting to get out of here? I have to get out of here. There's so many things I still want to do.
Like what?
Well, let's see. I want to wear lots of gorgeous clothes. I want to eat tons of delicious food and fall in love.
What an idiot.
Excuse me?
And I was going to take your side, but after that load of horse shit, you're on your own.
Yeah!
Ugh, look. Let me try this again. I'm frustrated, but there really is something important I have to do.
Which is?
Avenge my father's murder.
Is this going to be an Alice ending?
That's what I have to do.
What happened to him? Could you elaborate on that?
No, I couldn't. This isn't the kind of thing I should be telling people I don't even know.
Alright. Just tell me one thing. Does your father's murder have anything to do with us being trapped here?
I have no idea. As to why you're here, your guess is as good as mine. But it's possible that his death is connected to my abduction.
Meaning?
I was on their trail. I was tracking down the people who killed him.
How close were you?
I can't say. But it's possible that I was getting close enough that they decided something had to be done with me.
Are you a detective?
Well, I wouldn't really say I'm a detective. Not a bad guess, though. Why are you guys looking at me like that?
Well, I mean, you don't really have the detective look.
I didn't say I was a detective.
Then what are you? CIA?
No,
Fine. Well, whatever you are, you don't look like one.
that's fine. In my line of work, the less I look like what I am, the better. Better I keep him guessing.
Hey, what's the deal with you and Clover?
What's she got to do with anything?
Well, you know each other, right? I was thinking maybe you were related or worked together or something.
No. She has nothing to do with my work. She's just a friend that I met somewhere.
That's not true either. We're somewhere.
In the middle of a desert. Yes. But that's an awfully long story.
Well, that would have been at the end of 999, and that is going to be a long story. I already streamed it, so.
Wait, hold on. Why am I the only person getting the 3rd degree?
Probably because this is your arc.
That doesn't seem fair to me. How about you guys give up a little personal information, too? We'll start with you, Tenmyoji. Who are you?
Just a garbage collector.
Any ties to Zero?
None.
What's your relationship with Quark? You two know each other, right?
Do I have to answer that?
Well, if you really don't want to, it's not like I can force you.
No. And I apologize, but I don't have anything to say about that subject. I mean, it's not like you told us everything either.
I see. Very well, then. Dio, it's your turn.
We already know Dio's entire story.
What's your profession?
Well, you're probably gonna think I'm full of shit, but
And you probably are.
I'm a circus ringleader.
Well, if I hadn't seen your entire storyline, I could see that. The way you're dressed. Ringleader?
You're kidding.
Nope, I'm the real deal. I lead a company of about 50 people. We travel all over the world. It was my grandfather's grandfather who founded it, but my father died at a young age. I'm a 5th generation ringleader. My old man was a trapeze artist. He tried to do this quadruple flip and missed. Well, I guess he wasn't really young. He was about 40. Still, he was pretty reckless for a guy that age. Always talking about how he couldn't let the kids show him up. Guess you just took it too far.
I see. You lost your father too, then.
Yeah. Shit. Guess I got a little sappy there.
Yeah, well, you didn't tell us anything.
Anyway, point is, I don't have any damn idea how I'm connected to Zero. I got grabbed on the last night of one of our tour stops.
You did not, actually. You came in on your own volition.
I'd gone out to a couple bars and gotten shit-faced. On my way back to the caravan, this black van pulls up. Somebody grabs me and throws me inside. Before I can even get a look at them, they hit me with that gas and I'm out like a light.
None of that happened.
Next thing I know, I'm waking up in the AB room.
See, he came in on his own. And then he kills somebody and takes their place because he's wearing their bracelet.
Anyway, enough about me. We still haven't heard your story, Sigma. Who are you?
I told you guys the first time we met. Don't you remember? I was on my way home from school, and when I got into my car, this white gas started pouring out everywhere.
Are you some kind of doctor?
No, I'm still working on my degree. I'm shooting for a PhD, but I'm not quite there yet.
I guess you've been working on that for quite a while, huh?
Yeah, I guess I have.
Can you think of anything that might connect you to any of this?
Believe me, I thought about it, but I just keep drawing a blank. Sigma, you're connected because of your link to, well, they talked all about it in 999.
What about Zero?
No idea.
Do any of the people here look familiar to you?
Nope. You're all strangers. Well, I guess I can't really say for sure about Kay since I haven't seen his face. I suppose it's possible he's someone I know. Well, we actually did see Kay's face. We just don't have his ending quite yet. Or do we? We might.
Just who is he anyway?
Until that amnesia clears up, I don't think we got any way of knowing.
Oh, come on. You know he's full of shit.
You still don't believe him?
Of course not.
Okay, well, Kay is a bit of a mystery, but what about some of the others? Clover, for instance. What does she do?
I think she's a student. At night, she's a waitress or a bartender or something.
Well, that's not what she does. Because her and Alice are from a government organization. What about Quark? I guess he probably doesn't really have a job, huh? He's still in elementary school, right? Why is that funny?
It's nothing. Just forget about it. Yeah, you're right. Boy his age would be in elementary school.
You really don't know much, do you? About Quark, I mean.
And if it makes you feel better, sure.
Well, I know a little about Luna.
I know a lot about Luna.
I got her talking when we were in the infirmary. She says she's got some sort of medical license or something.
That's a half-truth.
She's a nurse?
It could mean she's a doctor.
I don't know, she didn't say. Just going by how she looks, though, I'd guess nurse.
That leaves us with Phi. She's the most mysterious to me. What does a girl like that do?
You've been around her the most, Sigma. She told you anything?
Look, I just don't know, alright? It's just kind of there. Like, I looked at you, and some part of my brain just said, that's Sigma.
No, nothing in particular.
Sure.
Yeah, she's a real mystery, all right. I honestly know about as much as you do. So basically nothing. I didn't really realize it until I said it. I'd spent hours with Fi, and yet I knew nothing about her except her name. And I only had her word that even that was the truth. Who was she really? The more I thought about it, the more suspicious she seemed. A fake detective, a waitress, a garbage collector, an elementary school kid, a nurse, and a circus ringleader. Plus 2 total mysteries. What do we all have in common? I don't think Zero would just grab a bunch of people randomly.
There's no point to talking about this. We should just focus on getting out of here.
I agree.
I'm gonna go check on the others.
Where do you
then.
plan on going?
Well, we gotta go to the lounge. I was thinking maybe the lounge.
I see. Right. Later, bro.
Okay. I headed out to the infirmary.
Oh, hey Sigma. Can I get you a seat?
Are you some kind of waitress?
What do you want?
What do you mean, what do I want? I just came here to check up on you guys. So this is the lounge, huh? A bar. A sofa? And 3 ladies. I feel like I'm in the VIP room.
Can I get you a drink?
He better not be underage.
I turned 21 just the other day.
I see. Well, I guess we could probably have a drink or two then. Fortunately, as much fun as that sounds like, I don't think it's a very good idea.
Why not?
This isn't really a good time to be getting wasted.
Really? It seems like this sort of thing is exactly what makes people want to drink in the first place.
She's not wrong! You've got a point.
Sigma?
I'm just kidding. Besides, I've got a headache. Drinking is probably not the best plan.
It hasn't gone away yet?
Well, it was fine for a while, but now I guess the best are back.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm sure if I just leave it alone, it'll go away in a bit. How I went before, anyway. Has this been happening to anyone else?
What? The headaches?
Uh-huh.
Now that you mention it, yeah, I did get one a bit ago. I feel fine now, though.
What about you, Luna?
You know, I think I did have a bit of a headache earlier. Not me. No headaches here. Well,
Oh, what?
it's hard to explain. I just feel kind of weird.
Weird as in how?
Your head feels weird? No. My body feels weird. Like my whole body.
You feel kind of numb? I think I've got the same thing. It's kind of like when you fall asleep on top of one of your arms. And then when you wake up, that arm kind of feels like it's not really yours anymore. It's not just my arm, though. My whole body feels kind of numb and foreign.
I don't know. I guess it's kind of like that, but... Oh, if that's what you're talking about, then yeah, I know what you mean.
Really?
It's kind of like my body isn't really mine. I'm sort of floating. Like that?
Yeah. Exactly.
Maybe it's because of the anesthetic gas.
The what now?
It might have looked like white smoke. The stuff they used when they abducted you.
Oh, yeah, right.
It seems like we were unconscious for a long time, so it must have been pretty powerful stuff.
Well, it was Super Beta. You think this might be some kind of side effect?
Well, it could be a side effect, or it could be that it just hasn't worn off completely yet.
A voice broke the silence.
Something horrible has happened.
Remember, we just left the infirmary. And who was there? Dio, Tenmyoji, and Alice. We're gonna find a body.
Please, you all have to come with me.
What is it?
I found something horrible in room 2 in the crew quarters.
Something horrible?
Never mind. You'll understand when you see it.
Kay was first in, followed by me, Spy, Clover, and Luna. He said nothing, just pointed under the bed. The four of us crouched down and followed his finger. There's one. Oh. That is not what I expected. What the hell is this?
I think it's a bomb.
Oh. Bomb? No way.
So, thank you, Sigma. Goodbye.
Of course. It was the same bomb I'd seen in my vision. Then it hadn't been a hallucination. Had it actually been a premonition?
I'll go find everyone else.
No, there's no need for that. Quark is already bringing them back. They should arrive soon. You see?
Where is it? Where's the bomb?
No sooner were the words out of Kay's mouth than the rest of our fellow captives appeared. Quark shoved the others aside and pointed at the bomb.
See? There it is! Under the bed!
For several long moments, we just stared in silence. Slowly, we began to eye one another. Old suspicions suddenly reawakened. It was Phi who finally broke the silence.
Doesn't look like it has a timed detonator. There must be a remote somewhere.
You're right. It'll probably use an active button or switch of some sort, not a dead man switch. If we can get it, we should be safe as long as we don't press the button.
Who was the first person to find this?
It was me. I found it while Quark and I were investigating this area. We split up to collect the rest of you.
How did you know it was a bomb?
I have seen it before.
When?
I'm not sure.
Because of the amnesia?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? We don't even know if it's a real bomb. Are you gonna tell me you believe that guy who can't remember his own fucking name knows a bomb when he sees it?
No. Kay is right. That's a bomb, I'm sure of it.
How do you know?
I just do, okay?
You sounded pretty sure about the switch, too. How do you know all this?
Let's just say it's an occupational hazard.
What kind of occupation do you have?
I can't tell you that.
Spare me the bullshit. This isn't time for keeping secrets.
Please, just trust me. Look, I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm sure that's a bomb. And it's not just any kind of bomb. It's an antimatter bomb.
Antimatter? Wait, you mean a bomb that uses annihilation energy?
Oh, you know what that is? Anyway, yes, you're right.
What's Hill Nation.
Lovely, thanks, Quark. Thanks for that bit of humor.
I would have thought you'd know.
Huh? Why?
Well, your name is Quark. You do know what that means, right?
Yeah? Grandpa told me about it. He said it's an elementary particle, one of the smallest bits of matter, but I don't really know anything else.
I see. Can you explain it to him, Tenmyoji?
Me?
Well, you know him best. I thought you could explain it best.
Let me think. I don't know. It's hard to think of a way to explain it in simple terms.
You want me to do it?
Yes, please.
I nodded and turned to Quark.
Okay. To begin with, we usually refer to bits of matter as particles, but there are also these things called antiparticles. For example, an electron is a particle with a negative charge. It has a sort of opposite, which is the antiparticle called the positron. It has a positive charge instead of a negative one, like the electron. So, protons have antiprotons and neutrons have antineutrons. Antimatter is a general term that covers all the antiparticles. The thing that's interesting about antimatter is that because it's the opposite of normal matter, when they collide, they both sort of cancel each other out. When they cancel each other out, though, it releases a whole bunch of energy. That process is called annihilation. So, an antimatter bomb is a bomb that uses annihilation energy.
Sorry. I don't really get it.
Oh. Alright, how about this? You've got men and women, right? They're kind of like complete opposites. What happens when you put them together?
They make babies.
Well, if there were, quantum men and women, then when you put them together, they'd disappear. Because their opposite elements cancel each other out. Like when a plus cancels out a minus, you get 0. That's annihilation. But when you get annihilation, you also get...
I know! A baby!
Exactly. In this case, the baby you get is the energy from the annihilation. It's not a real baby, of course, but like a baby, it's got all sorts of potential to do amazing things.
That's kind of a strange explanation.
But it worked!
You followed it, though, right?
Yeah!
Yeah, but that thing under the bed isn't going to be making a baby. Just how big of a...
Dio, you didn't really get it, did you? So, what happens is that they're going to annihilate one another. Which that's going to create energy. That's the baby.
Just how big of an explosion are we gonna get here?
It's pretty simple, actually. Just use Einstein's E equals mc squared. The mass lost during annihilation will be converted to energy, so...
So you would take the total mass of matter and antimatter and multiply it by the speed of light squared. That should get you the amount of energy.
For example, let's say that it has 350 milligrams of antimatter. That would mean there would also be 350 milligrams of matter, right?
So you'd have 700 milligrams total.
Yes. That means annihilation would produce roughly 63 trillion joules.
63 trillion joules?
That's about as much energy as the Hiroshima bomb.
What the... You've got to be kidding me.
Dio, you're the one who planted it there and you don't know anything about this bomb?
But there's only 350 milligrams of stuff in there.
Well, technically it's 700 milligrams since you have the matter and the antimatter.
That's not the point. We're talking about something that weighs less than a gram being equal to a bomb that weighed like 10,000 pounds.
Don't get so excited. I think I know what kind of bomb this is. It's probably using antihydrogen. There should only be about 25 micrograms of material in there.
That's less than 1,000th of a gram. So you'd only get about 45 billion joules of energy, right?
What does that mean?
About as much explosive power as 1 ton of TNT.
Hey, Clockwork Corner.
A ton?
Yes. Well, approximately.
And how exactly should I not worry about that? That's enough to blow up a 10-story building!
True. But it's a lot less powerful than an atomic bomb. We don't know how big this place is. If we can get far enough away from the bomb, we might have a chance of survival.
Perhaps, but how do we know this is the only bomb?
You got a point, Kay.
What do you mean?
Look at it carefully. It's got a number 3. Do you see it?
Yeah? Yeah, you're right. Doing fine, Clockwork.
If the bombs are numbered,
Then there could be a number 2 bomb or a number 1 bomb out there, huh?
yes. There's no way to know if this is the final bomb either. There could be a 4th, or a 5th, or...
Anyway, we can't just sit here and do nothing. We should move it. Somewhere.
Where should you move it? Because it's inside the facility. Dio stepped forward and reached for the bomb.
No! Don't touch it!
Alice grabbed Dio by the wrist and jerked him away from the bed.
What the hell do you think you're doing? Have you got a death wish or something? This bomb is here because somebody planted it. Do you really think they didn't rig it to go off if some idiot tried to move it?
Then what the fuck are we supposed to do?
We'll just have to leave it be for now. Until we can find the detonator or figure out how to turn it off.
Then you're telling us we should just prance off and ignore the incredibly deadly bomb that is probably gonna kill us all?
There's not much else we can do.
Do you know how to turn it off?
Well, there is a way.
Then spill the beans, lady. How do we turn the damn thing off?
There should be an emergency deactivation password. If you enter that password, the device should, well, deactivate.
So we just need to get this
Yes,
password?
that's right.
But there's no keyboard or anything on the bomb.
Look again. You see it? Right here. There's a port. If we can find the password input device, we just connect it here. Then we can enter the password.
Who would do something like this?
I have no idea. But we can figure out when they did it.
Oh,
When you
yeah?
and I searched this room, we didn't find anything, right? So that means the bomb must have been planted after we'd left.
After we left, huh? But when we went and checked the chromatic doors, we were all there. And after that, we've all been around other people. There's no way anyone could have snuck off to plan it.
I don't know about that. After we finished the AB game, we all split up. But if someone planted it right before then...
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah. You don't know, do you? Before we went off to the 3 rooms, we searched the hallway. Everybody was all split up.
Yeah, anyone could have come by here then. It would have been easy to sneak away.
You know, I don't remember seeing you around, Sigma. What were you doing?
Well, I was just kind of deep in thought, I guess. I stayed behind in the warehouse when you guys went off. Hey, what are you guys giving me that look? You don't think I planted it, do you?
I never said that.
Not out loud, you didn't. You gotta be kidding me. I don't know anything about this bomb.
Really? Are you sure? Back when we were in the AB room, you said you saw the moment when the bomb exploded.
That was, just, I could hardly say premonition. If they didn't think it was the worst lie on the planet, they'd think I was insane. Wait. This doesn't make any sense. According to Tenmyoji, any one of us could have been in here. Why am I the only one who's under suspicion? Also, there's no way to know the culprit here is actually one of us. Maybe there's someone else in here and they set up the...
Impossible.
Why?
There's no way that would get past Zero. And there's no way Zero would let anybody do something that would get in the way of the game going forward. What?
When you say Zero, you mean the AI, right?
Of course.
This is confusing. From now on, let's refer to the real Zero, the one behind all of this, as Zero Senior, which would, of course, make the AI Zero Junior.
Okay. Fine with me. Anyway, whichever one it is, they're not going to let a 10th person in. There's no way.
But what if the 10th person is Zero Senior?
I don't think it could be. Well, Zero Jr. said so. He said that the real Zero was one of us.
Vi and Clover were right. There couldn't be a 10th guest, and Zero Senior was without a doubt one of us. But if that was the case, then could Zero Senior have planted the bomb? No. If not, then who had? Alice? No. Dio? Definitely. Luna? No. Kay? No. Clover? No. Tenmyoji? No. Vi? No. Or, it seemed insane, but could it have been Quark? No. No. Why would Zero Senior have gone to all the trouble of setting a bomb? To make this game more exciting? To make it seem more dangerous? No. It didn't fit at all. But if that was the case, then the person who planted the bomb was someone other than Zero Senior.
Oh no! This is bad!
What is it?
Press the buttons on your bracelet!
Oh shit. Is this for real?
We've only got 4 minutes until the chromatic doors open!
Let's go then.
You're right. This bomb thing is gonna have to wait until later.
Alright, come on everyone. Alright, we gotta choose our partner.
Chromatic doors have opened. 5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
The doors have opened.
We need to figure out who's going where and fast.
So our options this time are,
We don't have time to wait for you to figure it out. Just pay attention. I'm only gonna say this once.
Vi laid out our options. Option A. Luna and I yellow pair up with Clover Cyan to open the green door. Tenmyoji and Dio Magenta pair up with Alice Yellow to open the red door. Kay and Quark Cyan pair up with 5 Magenta to open the blue door. Option B. Luna and I yellow pair up with 5 Magenta to open up the red door. Tenmyoji and Dio Magenta pair up with Clover Cyan to open up the blue door. Kay and Quark Cyan pair up with Alice Yellow to open up the green door. Or option C. Luna and I yellow pair up with Alice Yellow to open the blue door. Tenmyoji and Dio Magenta pair up with 5 Magenta to open the green door. Kay and Quark Cyan pair up with Clover Cyan to open the red door.
3 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
Okay, how are we going
Need
to
a
do this?
system here, or we'll never have time to argue it out. Why don't we let the people who are at the most disadvantage right now decide?
The most
The
what?
people who only have 1 BP.
Oh, so that would be me, you, and Timioji.
No way. I refuse.
Well, then what would you suggest?
We'll be fair and take a vote.
A vote? So we all just like raise our hands to the option we want?
Exactly.
So which one do you want, Alice?
Option C. I want to go with Sigma and Luna.
Tough picks. Tough. Pick something else.
My. Looks like you're not so fond of me anymore. Do you agree with him, Luna?
I'll just let Sigma decide.
Fine.
I'd like option C too. Clover and I were a pair for the first round, so I feel that I can trust her. What about you, Quark?
That's fine with me.
So that's 3 votes for option C, counting mine. How about the rest of you?
I'd like to pair up with Sigma and Luna too.
So option B then. I'd like to go with 5. You good with that, Luna?
Sure, I really don't mind.
Then we've got 3 votes for option B.
I'd like to go with option A.
I want to pair up with Alice. You're a strange duck.
How about you, Tenmyoji?
I don't mind going with option A.
1 minute remains until chromatic doors close.
So 2 votes for A, 3 votes for B and C. If Clover's vote doesn't decide this thing, we're gonna have to figure something else out.
Which one do you want, Clover?
I want to go with option C.
Quark chose Ally in the first round, and I was with Kay in the first round.
Then that's what we're doing.
Option C had won 4 votes. We were almost out of time, and I didn't exactly have a convincing argument. I was going to have to go with the majority.
10 seconds remain.
Okay, we're not
until
choosing.
Chromatic doors close. 9, 8, 7.
The doors are closing. Let's go!
Come on, Luna, hurry up. We've got to get to the blue door.
Right.
Luna, Alice, and I dashed towards the blue door. I looked over my shoulder in time to see the other disappearing into the door. Clover, Quark, and Kay had ended up with the red door. And Phi, Dio, and Tenmyoji had gone to the green door.
2, 1, 0. Chromatic doors closing.
Alright. Huh? There's 3 doors here.
It looks like they're all locked, though.
Does that mean this is just a dead end?
Well, there's a weird lever thing over here.
Try pulling it.
How about you try pulling?
Hey, what's with all this hostility? Are you still mad about the last AB game?
Of course I am.
Please don't fight.
Sigma, you really have to get over it.
We need to work together, or we're really going to be in trouble. Please? Very well. I'll pull the lever then. Is that okay?
Yeah, go right ahead. See if I care.
We're in the garden. One of the doors open.
But only one. I wonder how you open the other ones.
Who cares? We should get moving.
What is this place? Don't tell me we somehow managed to get outside.
I doubt it. Look up. There's a ceiling up there.
Yeah, I remember the door said bee garden or something. What's a bee garden?
It probably stands for something. Maybe beautiful?
Huh?
This feels like a whole other little world.
Like an oasis in the middle of all this metal?
I feel kind of weird saying this, considering where we are, but this place feels so liberating. All of this green. It's wonderful.
It's huge, though. We'll wear ourselves ragged trying to search the whole thing.
This must be the exit. Damn. Well, so much for this being easy. Blocked.
We should split up and look around.
Agreed.
Well, let's get to it then. Alright. Start left of the big tree. Waterfall runs down the rocks. They go along the walk. We're gonna have to cross the water to get over there. Please be careful if you slip. You could fall into the stream. Clicking the blue arrow will move you from the current arrow to an adjacent one. Okay. Okay, let's go this way. Let's look at the bench. Let's grab that. Alright. Okay. Okay. And this one. Huh? There's something next to my foot. Okay. Alright. Alright, let's do that. There's a red spotted mushroom growing in the shadow of this tree. Is this mushroom going to make me big if I eat it? Alright. Oh. Okay, so I'll try digging here. Let's... Alright. Alright, let's try digging here. Okay. What's that? paprika. No, that's a pepper. Probably a bell pepper. Paprika is what you call the spice you make from them. Oh, huh. Why is it split in half? I'm not sure. Wait, is there something in there? Oh yeah. Let me take a look. Oh, got the yellow coin. Flower. Okay. White flower with green leaves. It's a skunk cabbage. The white flower part is actually a leaf. Okay. Little scale. So cute. And so nice. Okay, I gotta talk to her. Got a metal detector. This is, it looks like a tombstone. So the people buried here are Mr. Tufu and Mrs. Ego Iris. What? Well, that's what it says. Tufu Ego Iris. That's not the tag. Something that they feel represents them, or just a phrase they liked. What does it mean? It's me. Any ideas, Luna? Looks like it's Latin, but I don't know what it means either. Did you see this? It looks like there's a keyhole down here near the bottom. You're right. Alright. Okay, there's a flower pot somewhere. I'm not seeing a flower pot. This must be it. A flower pot. Wait, don't people usually hide their house keys under a flower pot or in the mailbox? They do. Just trust me. I'm sure there's something under there. Let's grab a shovel. You're going to dig up the skunk cabbage? Poor thing. It's never done anything to you. Don't worry, I'll replant it when we're done. Now, I need this. Oh, the metal detector seems to be responding to this tomato. All right, grab it. Okay. Did it react to any of the others? No, just this one. Here you go. All right, red coin. Oh, this one, it's reacting to the onion. All right, let's dig it up. This was the only one that got a reaction, right? Okay, white coin. Oh, look, the metal detector's reacting to this one. Okay, can you grab that one then? Right. Did any of the others cause any reaction? No, just this one. Here you go. Green coin. Okay. So we need to go back to the scale. This is a balancing scale. You can use it to weigh things. It can help you tell if things that look similar have different weights. Like those 4 coins, for instance. Okay. We're gonna... put the green and the red together. So basically, if we take the green and the yellow, green is going to weigh more. No. Yeah, green is going to weigh more than yellow. And then green should actually weigh more than all of them. So it should also weigh more than the red. Yeah. So that means yellow is going to weigh more than the white. What? They just flew everywhere. Do you think it's broken? Let's see. Oh, I get it. If you use the scale more than 5 times, it triggers this spring, which makes the whole thing shake. It'll do the same thing if you stop using it before you've reached 5 times. Oh, right. We need to pick up all the coins. Well, now I've got the coins. Alright. I was just trying to prove a point. Okay, She's very impatient. Yeah. Alright, we're going to return to the starting point. There is no shortcut. So we need this thing. The handle fits perfectly into the hole in the wall. Good, now try turning it. When I turned the handle, it got dark. It looks like the light up there went down. Maybe that light was a sort of surrogate sun. If that's the case, it didn't just get dark, it became nighttime. So the garden needs nighttime? I guess so. Or maybe there's some hidden meaning in switching from night to day. We'll see if anything changed now that it's dark. If we want it to become afternoon again, all we have to do is turn the handle, right? Okay, there's a purple star, there's a small one, big blue star, yellow, giant red star right there. Okay. Hey, look at that. Are these stars? Maybe the idea was that when night falls, the stars come out. The stars showed up once the night fell. I wonder if there's some significance to that. Okay. Let's turn this on. Turning the handle back made the room bright again. The light that went down when you turned the night on, came back up. So now the sun is out and it's gone from night to afternoon. Okay. Okay. Pushed them, but nothing happened. Do you think they're broken? Maybe you just need to press them in a specific order. Let's do it in a specific order. The waterfall stopped. I guess that was the waterfall control panel. I feel like I just entered the Konami code and the waterfall stopped. So, we have to put the coins in. So we're going to start with the green one, and it's got to go here. The yellow one. And the white one. And the red one. Well, what's that noise? It sounded like something unlocking. I guess it wasn't just a panel, it was actually a door. And there's a screen inside of it. It's showing 9 stars. What are we supposed to do with them? Well, why don't you try touching them? The correct order. Okay. Alright. We have this one. And we have this one. We have this one. And we have this one. Awesome. Solved it. Good work. Look at the screen. Huh? Wait, this is the safe password. Now we gotta do the one with the gold. Alright. Let's do this one. Hey, thought so. Hey, check out the screen. Whoa, what's going on? The screen's changed. So that's for the gold file. Okay, here's that. This is a safe, right? It looks like one at least. There was a safe that looked like this in the crew quarters too. Let's see if we can get it open. Okay, we're going to do this one. We're going to do the blue one first. Star, star, sun. And this is going to give us the gold files. Yes. Okay. All right. Oh, we learned about this in 999. Ice 9 is a special form of water with a melting point of 36 degrees Celsius. In other words, it freezes at room temperature. The idea of Ice 9 was originally put forth by the American science fiction author Kurt Vonnegut. His version of Ice 9 has a melting point of 45.8 degrees Celsius. There is a rumor that says all the water in Alice's body is actually Ice 9. Who knows whether it's true or not, but if it is, then she has to always keep her body temperature above 36 degrees Celsius. This refers to Gentaro Hongo. He was one of the characters who appeared in 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. He was the person who supervised the kidnapping of the children who participated in the Nonary game in 2018. He is the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals and a devoted follower of Free the Soul. This theory holds that there is a sort of field where the form, structures, patterns, etc. of everything in reality are stored. This includes abstract things like language, song, thoughts, inspiration, culture, customs, and ideas. Any information contained, transmitted, or created by matter is held in the morphogenic field. In the Zero Escape series, people who can communicate by accessing this field are known as espers. If morphogenic field theory is true, however, then it would mean that in a sense all humans are espers of a sort. Immunoglobulin is an important part of the body's defense against viruses, bacteria, and other invaders. It identifies and neutralizes certain threats. The Ig replicator found in the lab gets its name from immunoglobulin. Factorization is the process of reducing a number to a series of numbers that, when multiplied together, give the original number. When taken to its logical conclusion, this will yield a list of prime numbers. For the purpose of factorization, 1 is not considered a prime. Example of prime factorization: 210 equals 2 times 3 times 5 times 7. 900 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5. 107 equals 107. So 2, 3, 5, 7, and 107 can only be divided by themselves or 1, which makes them primes. A relatively well-known Latin phrase. It might look like it's talking about a pair of sexy toaster waffles, but it actually means something like, what are you? What you are, I was. What I am, you will be. Sometimes used as an epitaph, the implications is that the person in question was once alive, like the reader, but that the reader will someday also be dead. A little ominous, I guess. The Special Office of Internal Security, or SOIS, is an elite intelligence organization under the jurisdiction of the Department of Defense. They investigate potentially disruptive or dangerous elements, such as domestic or foreign terrorists, radical political splinter groups, and religious organizations with extreme agendas that could pose a threat to the state or the citizenry. Their stated purpose is to maintain peace, but their charter authorizes them to arrest, detain, or even kill. Scary. So that is actually Alice's job. And if you couldn't tell, that was actually Alice in the picture. So, sun, star, moon. Whoa, it opened again. Is there something inside? Let's check. There's a lot of stuff in here. Let's have a look at it then. First off, this looks like a map. On the upper left it says floor B. The map we found in the crew quarters said floor A. So A is the top floor and B is the bottom floor? I mean, I know we took the elevator down to get here, so... Right. Let's keep going. There are more things in the safe. This is the key card. It has a moon on it. That means, yeah, this is the moon card that the announcement was talking about. There's 2 of them in here, just like with the sun card. You should take one, Alice. Why? Well, you're a solo. Luna and I will take one and you take the other one. Right. Thanks. So what do we got next? It looks like a piece of paper. What is this? Some kind of diagram. Doesn't make any sense. I wonder what it is. Oh well, just forget about it for now. We can always come back to it later. There's 2 more things in here. What is this? It looks like a note. It says IG equals immunoglobulin. What's immunoglobulin? It's another word for an antibody. You mean like the thing in your body that fights off bacteria and viruses and stuff? Yes. So what is this supposed to tell us? Honestly, I have no idea. And the only thing left is the key. That must be the key to the exit. Yes, I think you're right. We should be able to use it to open the door. Alright, awesome. What are we waiting for? Alright. And that would be this door right here. So it's locked on it, so probably the lock for the door. Alright, let's open this door. Yes, let's. Please do. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. No sooner had we stepped out of the garden that I saw the 3 people I'd watched leave through the green door sometime earlier. Whoa. What are you guys doing
We
here?
ought to be asking you the same thing. How'd you get here?
Sigma, hand me the map.
Map? Oh, right. I dug the map out of my pocket and spread it out in front of us.
You 3 came in through the blue door, right?
Yeah.
And which room did you go into?
This fan-shaped one. It's called the Bee Garden.
Bee garden?
It's this big dome with a bunch of plants in it. Look, you can go see it yourself later,
What
alright?
about you guys?
Well, after we went through the green door, we ended up in the treatment center.
Yep, so... And then we met up. Right here.
So, what's the treatment center? It sounds a lot like the infirmary.
You want to have a look? We can go back to any of the rooms we've already visited. So?
Sure, let's have a look. After a few moments of brisk walking, we found ourselves in the treatment center. What are those?
They're why this is called a treatment center. Those pods can cure a number of illnesses and even repair certain injuries.
Whoa, that's nuts.
How about you climb in one of them, Dio?
Why?
Well, maybe it can fix whatever's wrong with your brain.
Hey!
She got it.
You want to start something, lady?
Confused about something, Eric?
Calm down now, son. You don't cool off a bit, and I'll have to throw you in one of these pods here.
Everyone wants to throw him into a pod. We actually did that one time. Although somebody locked him in and cut off his oxygen.
Huh? Why?
Aren't you paying attention? They have a cold sleep function. I figured that ought to cool your head up.
Wait, did you say cold sleep? That's where they freeze you, right? And you can stay that way for a really long time?
According to some records we found in here, until about 8 hours ago, there were 3 frozen people in these pods.
3 people? Who?
You mean 3 of us were?
We don't know. All we found was what was in the logs for the pods.
How long were they here?
No idea. Part of the logs were erased. All that's left is when the cold sleep function turned off. It records them thawing out, getting up. That's it.
Then they could be anyone.
Well, anyone but you.
What? Why not Alice?
Because you don't need a device like this to freeze Alice. Am I wrong?
Huh? What are you talking about?
You don't need to play dumb. The water in your body isn't normal water. It's something called Ice 9. It freezes at 96.8 degrees. That means all you have to do to put yourself in cold sleep is drop your body temperature below 96.8. No fancy machine needed.
Where on earth did you hear that?
From Clover.
Clover?
When we were exploring the lounge during the first round.
I see.
What's so funny?
Oh man, you fell for that one hook, line, and sinker, didn't you? Clover was messing with you. That is, if she even said anything to you at all. It was a lie. A joke?
A joke? No, there's no way it was a joke. I'm sure about it. Your body is made of Ice 9.
Well, you're mistaken. It's a ridiculous misunderstanding. An urban legend.
With seemingly no other prompting, Alice launched into a lengthy explanation. It went something like this. At some point in the past, someone found a frozen mummified Egyptian queen. What was curious about this mummy, however, was that it remained frozen at room temperature. People began to refer to her as All Ice, which eventually became simply Alice. Rumors that her body was made of Ice 9 began to circulate, and her bizarre refusal to thaw only compounded them.
They say that the mummy finally thawed, and when it did, it began to move. And ever since then, I've had people say they thought I was her. I mean, really, how could anyone believe something so ridiculous? The existence of this mysterious Alice and of this ice that doesn't melt are just urban legends.
But why would people make that mistake about you in particular?
It can't just be because your name's Alice. There are tons of Alices.
Is it because of your face and how you look?
Well, it is true that I am both beautiful and elegant. Can I really be blamed if people think I'm an Egyptian queen? I don't think that's the only reason, though. Someone who made that mistake said something to me once. They claimed they'd seen me before. Of course, I immediately pressed the issue. Do you mean the mummy, Alice? I said. When? Where? Of course, they were at a loss. In fact, I began to feel a little sorry for them. So I told them something. If you're so convinced, then maybe I am actually Alice. But maybe I've lost my memory and can't remember who I am. And so on and so on. I'm still not sure why Clover would tell you something like that, though. Even if she was just messing with you, it seems a little out of left field.
No, I don't think so.
You really think she put that much thought into it? She was probably just screwing with him, and it was the first thing that came to mind. Maybe she wanted to see if she could get him to believe something completely ridiculous.
Yeah, I could see her doing something like that. Well, I think that's enough idle gossip for now. The cold sleep business is interesting, but I don't think it's terribly useful. We should go see if the other team has returned to the warehouse yet.
At Alice's request, we made our way out of the treatment center. This is...
It looks like another warehouse.
It looks like the same warehouse.
Hey, look.
3 more doors.
They're all glowing white. You think...
These might be the next set of chromatic doors.
I'd bet on it. Look, they've got the same boxes next to them as the other doors.
So the next set of doors are white?
They haven't all been the same color before.
We definitely need to tell the others about this.
Right. Let's head back to floor A. We're back up to 378.
Oh, thank goodness. You finally returned. I was beginning to get anxious.
Did something happen?
Yes. It's Quark, you see.
What? What happened to Quark?
He collapsed. It happened so suddenly. We were just searching our room.
What?
Please, you must hurry to the infirmary. Clover is looking after him, but his condition could change at any moment. You should go.
Oh no.
Tenmyoji shoved Kay aside and left through the yellow door. The rest of us exchanged a few startled looks and ran off after him.
Quark, come on, kid. Get a hold of yourself.
Tenmyoji grabbed Quark's shoulders and began to shake him desperately. It was Clover who stopped him.
Hey, what are you doing? He's sick, and we don't even know what's wrong with him. What if you make him worse?
Then what am I supposed to do? I have to save him.
Save? That seems a little extreme. Maybe he just has anemia or something.
No, that's not it. I know him better than any of you. He doesn't have anemia. He's never just collapsed before.
Well, then call an ambulance and stop freaking out about it.
You're not funny, Dio.
Oh, son of a bitch. This is serious.
The infirmary seems pretty well equipped. There are plenty of diagnostic tools, but
Without a doctor, there's not going to be much we can do with him.
Alright. Well, we've got Luna.
That's right. I remember Dio saying something. You have a medical license, don't you?
Wait, really? Is that true, Luna?
Well, yes, but
You have to take a look at him then. Please. Quark needs your help.
okay. I'll see what I can do. I think that machine over there is a medical scanner. It's called an atom. It uses nuclear magnetic resonance imaging to examine and diagnose people.
So that thing can tell us what's wrong with Quark?
Yes, I believe it can.
I don't want to rush you, but the sooner the better. Just let us know if you need anything.
Of course.
So far, a lot of things are happening differently from any previous playthrough. We didn't run into a body at first, and Alice is still alive by this point. The whole process took only a few minutes. The machine scanned Quark's body, and within seconds, his results lit up the screen. Words too complicated for me to understand scrolled across it, and as she read them, Luna's face grew dark. She bit her lip and just stood there for a moment, looking down at Quark before she spoke.
Well, I know what's wrong with him. I feel so terrible saying this, but Quark has an infection. A viral infection.
Oh no.
Oh no? Don't tell
Yes. He's been infected with a virus called Radical 6.
me. Have you heard of this virus? Radical 6, I mean?
Yeah. I told Alice and Tenmyoji about it.
Fi and I heard about it from Luna.
Dio and Luna were two of the first people to investigate the infirmary. They must have seen the newspaper clipping that Quark found. I stayed behind after the AB game, and they'd all split up and gone into different rooms. It seemed like one way or another, everyone had heard about Radical 6.
No. He can't... How could he have gotten infected? That's not possible.
Something about the tone of his voice seemed strange. Why wasn't it possible? Had Tenmyoji known about Radical 6 before the rest of us?
There must be something we can do! How can we cure him?
Well, Adam says there's an antiviral serum called Accelavir. It's the only way to counteract Radical 6. If we can inject him with some, he should be okay.
Where is it? Shouldn't it be in the infirmary somewhere?
We looked around, but we didn't see anything.
I don't trust a damn thing you say. I'm asking Luna.
I'm sorry, but Io's telling the truth. We didn't find anything.
Damn it. What about the other rooms? Sigma, what about you? Did you find anything?
No, nothing like medicine. I mean, it was just like a park. Lots of vegetation and stuff, but no medicine.
What about you, Kay? Was there any medicine in your room?
We visited the laboratory. There were a number of chemicals and concoctions there, some of which were medicine, but nothing like what we're searching for, I'm afraid.
Oh God. Then he's going to...
Which means he didn't find the Accelavir in the safe.
Oh God, no.
Look, just to be sure, the three of you went to the treatment center, right? And you're sure it wasn't there?
No, there was nothing even remotely like it. You went there too, didn't you? The only thing in the treatment center are those treatment pods.
Treatment pods. That's it. If we put Quark in one of those pods... For a moment, there was silence.
Quark?
Quark! Oh, thank God. You're awake.
Get away from me!
What? Quark, what are you...
Sorry, Grandpa. I can't. I have to.
Have to what? What are you talking about?
Isn't it obvious? I have to escape.
But how?
Like this!
Quark's hand moved like lightning. He'd grabbed a hold of the scalpel and was driving it straight toward his heart. Stop!
No! Let go! Let go of me!
Pretty tough for a kid. Hey, guys! I could use a hand here.
Yeah, right.
On it.
Me too.
Stop it! Let go of me, you jerks!
Tenmyoji, the hell are you doing? Get over here. Tenmyoji, can you even hear me?
Oh, right.
Damn you! Bastards! Why won't you let me go? I have to get out of this body! They can't lock away the soul! Once my body's gone, my soul can escape! Please! You have to let me go! Let me go! I'm trapped here! Let me die! I have to die! Kill me! Somebody! Anybody! Kill me! Kill me! Kill me! Ah!
That's what Radical 6 does to you. It causes hallucinations and makes you believe things. Jesus, this kid's lost it. Hey, somebody get that scalpel away from him. Good. Thanks, whoever that was. Quark barely even seemed to notice the loss of the scalpel. He continued to scream and writhe like he was possessed. What are we going to do? We've got to calm him down somehow.
Luna,
Yes?
are there any tranquilizers in here?
No. Well, I mean,
What?
there's Superel Beta.
Soperil?
That's the anesthetic. The one that's in our bracelets.
Good. Perfect. Hit him with some of that.
What?
He'll be fine.
It's just an anesthetic, Tenmyoji. It won't hurt him, I promise.
But...
Just hurry up and do it! Come on, Luna!
Okay. Let me just... Okay, I've got it.
Good. Wait until he's... Now! Do it now!
Right.
No! Stop! Stop!
Whew.
Respiration, blood pressure, brain waves, everything's normal. According to these readings, he's in a very deep sleep.
Alright, I guess we're good for now.
Yes,
What about the anesthetic? How long will it last?
he shouldn't wake up for a few hours.
Man, he sure was strong for such a little guy.
I think that might be the virus's fault. It probably attacks the part of the brain that governs reason. Without anything to hold it back,
Which will be the frontal
his body
lobe.
was using every ounce of strength it had.
Yeah? How do you know?
Huh? Oh, well,
How much do you know about this Radical 6?
oh, not much. I probably know about as much as you do. All I've seen about it is that newspaper article.
Is that the truth?
Why would I lie about that? I've seen other viruses do the same thing. I was just making a guess.
So when Park tried to kill himself, are you saying that was because of Radical 6 too?
Yes, at least I think so.
So what kind of virus is Radical 6?
What are you doing?
I turned and followed Tenmyoji's gaze. There stood Alice, her hand wrapped tightly around the scalpel. Apparently she'd been the one to take it away from Quark. The longer I looked at her, however, the more I wondered if she'd taken it to protect him, or for some other more sinister reason. She didn't seem stable. In fact, she looked far more like Quark had a moment ago. Good night, Eric. In fact, she looked far more like Quark had a moment ago than I was entirely comfortable with. Her eyes were flat and hollow. Her face was an emotionless mask. She was not well. Alice? Hey, are you feeling okay?
We're all going to die.
Huh?
We're all dead already. Only terrorists would resort to biological warfare. But they will. Soon.
Hey, what the hell are you talking about?
You don't understand? All of humanity is going to die. The virus will spread. Adults, children, everyone. Everyone! There won't be anyone left! I'd rather die here!
Wait! Alice! We were all too stunned to even try to restrain her. We just stood there as she spun around and leapt through the door. Damn it! I shook myself and took off after her. But those few moments of hesitation had put too much distance and too many doors between us. Shit, which way did she go? Right. Left. I was still trying to decide when everyone else poured out of the infirmary.
You lost her!
Yeah, I don't know which way she
Well,
went.
let's split up and look. Quickly. She can't have gotten too far.
Right.
Look, if you find her, it's probably best not to shout or anything. Just do your best not to provoke her. Understood? Tenmyoji, I think you should stay here with Quark. The rest of us can look for Alice. Sound good?
Yeah. I stay here. Got it.
All right, let's move, people. Get going.
At Fi's command, we scattered, filtering off into the different doors. As I ran, I thought, where should I look for Alice? Perhaps the lounge would be a good bet. Well, she went to the crew quarters, I can tell you that. No one here, huh? Damn. Where did she go? Complaining wasn't going to help anything. I needed to go look somewhere else. Shoot. Nothing in the treatment center either. We need to find her quick or she's gonna do something bad. We hadn't stopped work. We need to hurry. I headed to the garden net. I'd only gone a few steps from the walkway through the grass when I stopped short. Alice!
There you are. Good. I'm glad you showed up.
Huh?
I just got here a minute ago. She was like this when I found her. When you showed up, I was getting ready to carry her to the infirmary.
Then she's alive?
Yeah. Her breathing and pulse seem normal. She doesn't appear to have any obvious external wounds.
So she's just unconscious?
Looks like it.
What about the scalpel?
Doesn't look like she has it. Figure she probably dropped it on the way here. Anyway, we need to get her to the infirmary. Give me a hand here.
Right. Alice was later than I expected, and Fi and I managed to set off toward the infirmary at a brisk trot.
All right, please pay attention, everyone. You need to hear this. The Atom has finished scanning Alice.
What did it say?
Her results are identical to Quark's. She has also been infected with Radical 6.
On our way back, Fi had gone off to retrieve the rest of the participants. 7 sets of eyes widened as Luna spoke.
Oh no.
No! What's going to happen to her?
Well, like I said before, there's only one way to cure Radical 6. There's a special antiviral treatment. Do you know what immunoglobulin is?
Immunogoblin?
It's another name for antibodies. Some people have antibodies that can fight off Radical 6. Those antibodies are the basis for Accelavir.
Wait, what about those pods in the treatment center? Can't we just stick them in those?
Right. I thought of that too. So I went and took a closer look, and unfortunately...
They can't cure it.
Correct. They can suppress the symptoms for a while, but they can't kill the virus itself. The only way we can help Alice and Quark is if we can find some Accelavir.
But the pods will keep them from getting any worse, right?
Yes.
Well, then what are we waiting for? One of you, grab Alice. We're going to the treatment center.
As he spoke, Tenmyoji moved over to Quark and lifted his small unconscious body off the bed. Quark shifted slightly as Tenmyoji moved him, and something fell out of his pocket with a soft clink. I bent down slowly and picked it up. Is this medicine?
What? Well, what is it?
Hold on. There's a name on the label here. Accelavir.
Accelavir! You found it, Sig. That's the one thing that can cure Radical 6.
Why did Quark have it?
Perhaps he found it earlier.
Earlier
We
when?
explored the laboratory. It was on the other side of the red door. I happened to notice Quark putting something in his pocket.
He hid it?
Whether or not that was his intention is unclear. I did not have the opportunity to ask, as he collapsed immediately afterwards. It didn't feel appropriate to go digging around in his pockets for it after that. And to be honest, it had also slipped my mind. We were rather preoccupied with getting him to the infirmary as quickly as possible.
Who cares about the details? We have it. Hurry up and give it to him, Luna.
Hey, hold on a minute. What about Alice?
Does it really matter if she goes first or not?
I'm sorry, but I don't think we can do that.
What?
There's only enough here for one person. The only way we have to administer this is with the injection gun. And the way it functions, it uses a whole bottle each time you pull the trigger.
In other words, we can't split the dose in two or something.
Right.
Well, we all stood stunned. Phi moved. Stepping over to Quark, she quickly ran her hands through his clothes and then stepped back with a frown and a small shake of her head.
Nothing. That one bottle was it.
Do you think there might be some more back in the laboratory?
No, unfortunately not.
No.
Oh, God.
Just enough medicine for one dose.
Only one person can be saved.
Who should we give it to?
Alice or Quark?
The hell is this? There's no way we're only going to save one of them.
What are we going to do?
Do I have to spell it out? We're going to save them both.
How?
That's, I needed to calm down. Think. There had to be some way to save both of them. It was there, I knew it. Immunoglobulin.
Do you know what immunoglobulin is? It's another name for antibodies. Some people have antibodies that can fight off Radical 6.
Are we going to give it to one person and use that, their blood, which now has Accelavir into it, which means that would give them antibodies to fight off Radical 6 and create another cure to save the other person? Is that what we're about to do? IG Replicator.
Replicator makes it sound like it makes copies of stuff.
So it's like a copy machine.
Yeah, probably copies IG, whatever that is.
That's what we're doing. All we need to do is copy the Accelavir, and we would have 2 doses. Any
Who
ideas?
knows? Ice cream by the gallon?
That's it. I've got it. The IG replicator in the laboratory. It's an immunoglobulin replication machine.
What?
It can copy immunoglobulin Antibodies. Luna just said Excelivir is made from antibodies. That means we can make more Excelivir.
Hold on a moment. There is a strange device in the laboratory that says IG Replicator on it. Clover and I examined it thoroughly when we were in that room.
Yeah, we never could figure out what it did, though.
Exactly. My question is, how do you know about it, Sigma?
I saw it when I was in the laboratory.
When was that?
Probably when you were looking for Alice, right?
No. Theo was wrong. I hadn't gone to the laboratory when I was looking for Alice. I didn't think I'd ever been to the laboratory, so how did I know about the IG replicator?
If what he's saying is true, then we should be able to duplicate the Excelivir. That would mean we could cure Alice and Quark.
Let's go have a look then. The laboratory, right?
Yeah, no time to waste.
We all nodded. Wait, we can't leave them here all alone. Luna, do you think you could stay behind and look after them?
Oh, of course. I'd be happy to.
Alright then, let's go.
So this is the lab, huh?
Yes.
Where's this IG replicator thing?
Right here. See?
So this can copy the Excelivir?
I think so.
What are we waiting for?
Calm down, alright? Don't rush me. I carefully lowered the small vial of Excelivir into the slot on the one side of the machine. An empty vial already protruded from the other side. Presumably, that was where the duplicated Excelivir would go. Ready? When I push this button, it should...
Skip it. Just press the damn thing.
Right. And pressed. Did it work?
Have a look. The empty vial has something in it now.
And the vial Sigma used remains as it was. It does not seem to have lost any of its contents.
So, it worked?
Would have been pretty bad if it hadn't.
Alright, let's get this back to the infirmary. I reached down and pulled both vials from the machine, intending to slip them deftly into my pocket.
What happened?
Shit. Sorry. My hand slipped.
You dropped one of them?
Yeah. Just
What
one
in
though.
the hell? What if you'd broken it, you idiot?
Come on. If it'd broken, then we could have just made another copy. Before Tenmyoji could reply, Fi spoke.
Guys?
I was surprised to hear her voice coming from my feet. I looked down to see her staring intently at something beneath the table.
You see? It did break!
No, the vial's fine. See?
She held it up in one hand, but didn't move her eyes.
Then what the heck is going on down there?
Take a look.
She slid back from the table quickly and silently. The rest of us bent down to look.
Whoa.
Bomb.
Really? That makes two then.
Guess Kay was right after all.
So there were more bombs.
So it would seem.
Was this here when you guys came through the first time?
No, it was not.
Yeah, I didn't see anything, and I looked real hard.
Then somebody must have said it while we were looking for Alice.
Who the hell would do that?
We were all out looking for Alice. It could have been any of us.
No, not any of us. I was back in the infirmary. Quark was still out, so I was keeping an eye on him.
So we shouldn't consider you a suspect. Is that right?
Yeah, Quark's off the list too.
But Tenmyoji, you have no proof that she spent the entire time in the infirmary, do you?
What?
You could have quietly made your way to the laboratory, planted the bomb.
That's insane! Listen to yourself! There's no way in hell I'd have left Quark all by himself to go plant a goddamn bomb!
Tenmyoji was still staring furiously at Kay when Clover spoke up.
Hey, what's this thing?
Turned in time to see her grab something from under the table.
It looks like a memory card.
Where was it?
Right under the bomb. It was down on the floor under the table.
Could it have been put here by the same person who set the bomb? There was nothing like it here when we examined this room.
You think they dropped it accidentally?
Unless it was left here intentionally, yes. I imagine so.
What do you think's on it?
Let's take a look. Could I see it for a minute?
Yeah, I guess so.
I plucked the card out of her hand and looked around the room. Nothing. Shoot, no dice. We'll need to plug it into something that can read memory cards, but I don't see anything.
So what
here.
do we do?
Come on, if I knew, I'd be doing it.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Guys, I think maybe we should get back to the top floor.
Yeah, you're right. We've got what we came here for.
What should we do about the, bomb?
Not much we can do except leave it here. Alice said it'd be dangerous to touch them.
True, but...
Drop it. We can talk about the bombs later. Right now we need to take care of Alice and Quark.
Right. So we'll go back to the infirmary and give them the Excellivier, and then head to floor A warehouse.
Right. This ought to do it. It might take a little while, but they should recover.
Her voice was quiet as she backed away from Alice and Quark. In her hand was the injection gun. She carefully removed the empty vial and placed it gently in the cabinet with the other one. While we were in the laboratory, Luna had moved Quark to a crude cot. They both looked peaceful as they slept. The madness I'd seen on their faces before was completely gone.
Are they really going to be all right?
Yes. The analysis I did on the vials confirmed that the duplicate was real Excellivier. The original was genuine too, of course. Now that they've been treated...
It's only a matter of time before the virus is eliminated.
I believe so, yes. Oh man, what a relief. I was really worried.
Clover grinned. Agreed. I gave her a reassuring pat on the back.
5 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
All right, everybody. We can be relieved later. Right now we need to get to the AB rooms and fast.
Damn. Don't even have time to catch our breath.
Come on, let's go. The floor A warehouse is waiting. Huh? Where's Tenmyoji?
Oh, he stayed back in the infirmary.
Why?
Well, when we were all heading out, I noticed he wasn't doing anything. So I asked him if he was coming with us. And this is what I got.
I'm still worried about Quark and Alice. I think I'll stick around and make sure they're okay.
I see. That means that Phi's only opponent will be Dio.
One-on-one, huh?
Ugh.
That's cool. Nothing to worry about. I plan to choose Ally. You know why?
Because I've only got one BP.
Exactly. If you chose Ally and I betrayed you, your BP would drop below 0 and... well, we know what happens then. I want to win, but I'm not that desperate. You see what I'm saying, right?
Tenmyoji and Dio are a pair. Tenmyoji only had one BP left. Since Dio said he's going to pick Ally, Phi can't really pick anything else. If she does, Tenmyoji will...
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Kay and I are gonna be going one-on-one too, right? Since Quark's still sleeping.
That is correct.
How many BP do you guys have?
I've got 6.
As do I.
Must be a tough one then.
If one of them can get the other to Ally, and then betray that person, the betrayer will have 9 points. Look, Kay, I know you don't really have any reason to trust me, but...
I know. You would like us both to vote Ally, yes?
Yeah.
I agree. If we were to both betray, then we would gain no points. We would lose nothing either, but that's hardly relevant. If both of us cooperate, then we will both gain 2 points, which is much more beneficial.
Right. Okay, good. You're really gonna do it, right?
Yes,
Promise?
promise.
1 minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
Shit, this is bad. We need to move, now!
Indeed. Shall we?
DOK, Phi, and Clover all took off immediately, heading into different AB rooms. Counting from the left, Dio went into room 3, Kay went into room 4, Phi and Clover went into rooms 5 and 6 respectively. That left Luna and myself. What do you think about taking the one on the far
Sounds
left?
good.
With that settled, we headed into the AB room number 1. Okay.
30 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
It's probably a little late to say this, but you know Alice is still in the infirmary, so...
You're saying we should pick Ally, right? Since Alice is going to default to that anyways.
Yes.
I know. It's not really fair to betray someone who isn't voting. Luna's face broke into a warm, happy smile. Not to be snappy, but it was like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day. I grinned back at her before I knew what I was doing. For a minute, the no-nara game didn't seem so scary.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ally or betray? Alright, let's see where that takes us.
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Luna and I stepped out of the AB room. Alright, let's go have a look at the results.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Whoa!
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly.
Yeah, so Alice made it to her AB room in time. And Fi did not trust Dio at all.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
What? It wasn't possible. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and looked again. No, that's not possible. How can Alice's vote be betray? It was a question I'd never know the answer to. There was a sharp, quick pain in my wrist, barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing into my veins, but I knew it was there. First would be the anesthetic Soparil. I blinked and my vision started to blur. When I tried to think, it felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. My legs began to wobble, then gave out entirely as I crumpled to the floor.
Sigma! Sigma! Hang on! Oh no! Sigma! Get up!
Sigma!
Sigma!
No. Why?
Yep. My eyelids felt like they were made out of lead, but I forced them open. Everything was growing blurry, but I noticed that the door of the second AB room was open. No one had gone into that room. I'd watched them all. And yet there she stood, an apparition that couldn't possibly be real. Alice. The world was gradually going black, and my mouth refused to form words, but my head echoed within questions. How? Why? What was she doing there? Had she run in at the last moment after Luna and I entered our room? But even if she had, why choose betray? Then the darkness closed over my mind as well, and my questions were gone forever. Game over. So we're going to go back up here because now we've got to betray to live.
"30 seconds.
We're going to skip all this and we're just going to betray. Luna and I stepped out of the AB room.
Why? What happened to it's not fair to betray someone who isn't voting?
Because I know what happened when I allied.
I thought...
There was nothing I could think of to say. Even I didn't really understand why I picked betray instead. It had almost felt unconscious, like some other part of my mind was making the decision. Perhaps I'd been possessed by some sort of evil spirit that moved my finger to the betray button against my will. Right, well, we should go see the results.
We already know what they are. It's just simple math.
The look in her eyes was more painful than any punch I'd ever taken. I turned away and almost ran toward the projector, anything to get away from those eyes.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen. Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly.
Nobody won any points.
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
What? It wasn't possible. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and looked again. No! How can Alice's vote be betray? That's not possible. Alice? She was standing inside the second room from the left. The room that should have been empty. Why? My mind was still reeling. Where had she come from? As I was trying to form a sentence, she began to move toward us. From around me, I heard a chorus of muted gasps. It seemed we were united in our surprise and confusion. Alice drew to a stop in front of me and glanced up at the display.
Thought you'd get an easy couple points, huh?
No!
Not so easy when you have to look your victim in the eye, is it? Coward.
I had 1 BP. Me betraying you when you defaulted to ally would have kept me alive. How does that make me a coward? Me, a coward? You've got some balls saying that to me after you picked betray. Why are you even here?
You gave me the antivirus, didn't you? Tenmyoji told me. Thank you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, honestly.
But you should still be under the effects of the anesthetic.
Yes, well, I still am. A bit. I have a throbbing headache, and I can barely stand. It's horrible. I'm more resistant to anesthetics than most people. A result of my training. I have a feeling Zero Senior knew that. They gave me way more than the standard dose of that gas when they kidnapped me. In any event, a few minutes ago I woke up in the infirmary. Tenmyoji explained what was going on, and I got here as fast as I could.
So you showed up right after we'd gone into the AV room?
Yes, right in the nick of time, too. About 10 seconds before the deadline, as I recall.
You did that just so you could betray us?
Right. What? Don't I get to do that? I mean, it turned out to be the right thing to do, didn't it?
Except for if I had allied and you just betrayed, death.
You two chose betray. If I'd stayed back there, I'd have lost 2 points.
Yeah, but I only had 1 BP.
So you're saying it was self-defense?
How could it be self-defense when you had 6 points?
Yes.
You're full of shit. Self-defense my ass. You chose betray because you wanted out. You had 6 BP. If I'd picked ally, you would have had 9. That's what you were trying to do,
So
right?
if I was.
Are you serious? You would have killed me. Look, I only have 1 BP. You were this close to murdering me. Just admit it. You were planning to kill me so you could escape.
Don't be stupid.
You did do that, though!
I knew you'd choose betray.
No, you didn't. You were hoping I'd choose ally. You're lying.
There was...
Tell the truth.
That is the truth.
No, it's not!
Why am I the only one getting the 3rd degree here?
Because actually, Alice, this is your arc.
Look at those results. 2 other people just tried to kill someone.
Yep, Dio did. But here's the thing with that. Dio was going to try to kill Fi. Fi was trying to defend herself. There's a difference there. Because she didn't trust Dio. Nobody should trust Dio as far as they can throw them.
Yes, if Dio had chosen ally, Fi would have killed Tenmyoji.
But here again, you cannot trust Dio. I know all about Dio.
And if she'd chosen ally, Dio would have killed her.
I don't want to be rude, but it looks like Clover and Kay tried to trick one another.
It did, and it failed.
Not that it seems to have worked. If either one had chosen ally, the other one would have 9 BP right now.
I turned to look at the results again. Before, I'd only been looking at my own. I hadn't realized that there was only one word all across the roster. Betray. Whatever trust we'd managed to build had fallen apart. Everyone was suspicious of everyone else. Had it been the bombs? Most certainly has. Or had it been something else? Whatever the reason, if it kept up, we'd never manage to escape. We'd be trapped in a cycle of 0-point rounds for the rest of our lives. Something had to be done. I closed my eyes and I took a deep breath. Alright guys, pay attention. You probably already all figured this out, but we can't keep going like this. If we don't start being a little more trusting, we're never going to get out of here. We need to work together. I might as well have been talking to a wall.
My apologies, Sigma, but I need to think on something for a bit. I would appreciate being left alone.
Okay.
I'll be leaving too. Things are getting a little too intense here for my delicate constitution. Sorry.
Dio.
Well, in that case...
At 2-5?
Yeah, sorry.
Without another word, she turned and left the warehouse. Dio and Kay quickly followed suit.
See? There's your answer. In the end, everyone's just thinking about themselves. So I would appreciate it if you could not treat me like I'm the only villain here. Come on, Clover. Let's go.
Hold on! I'm coming! Are you feeling okay? I was really worried, you know?
I watched them walk away, Clover practically jumping with delight to have Alice back. Before long, they reached the yellow door and disappeared beyond it.
Everyone's gone.
You aren't going to leave too?
No.
Are you sure? I chose betray.
I know, but I still believe in you, Sigma. I think your hand must have just slipped or something.
No, if I had chosen Ally, I would have died.
Right?
My chest hurt, and when I blinked, I felt something hot and wet prick the corners of my eyes. Unai, I bit my lip. Before I could think of anything to say, the metallic rumble of the doors closing echoed through the warehouse.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the Star Round. Star keys are required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the Star keys. The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
As many times as we want.
Yes, as long as we have the star keys. That means we can keep playing the AB game over and over too. Sigma? Could you show me your bracelet?
What?
Do you remember what Zero Jr. said?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically.
Parent solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Yeah, I remember. Let's see here. I'm a cyan pear. What about you?
I'm a magenta pear.
I wonder what the others
We
are.
could be anything, I suppose. We won't know until we have a look.
We've got about 80 minutes until the next set of chromatic doors open. So, what should we do now?
Everyone else has gone off on their own.
Yeah, physically and emotionally. I really don't like how this is going. It won't matter how many times we repeat the AV game if nobody trusts anybody else. We'll never be able to get out of here.
Maybe it would help if we all had a common goal. Something to unite our hearts and minds.
Yeah, but we've already got something like that. We all want to get out of here. That seems like a pretty clear goal to me, but everybody chose betrayal, including me.
Well, what if we have an enemy?
An enemy?
Yes, a common foe. Like the person who set the bombs, for instance.
After coming back from the lab, I told her about the bomb while she gave Alice and Quark the Alice elevator. Yeah, that won't work. If we can figure out which one of us planted those bombs, then everyone else would work together against them. But how do we figure out who it is?
Do you have any clues?
Clues, huh? That's right. The memory card. I pulled it out of my pocket and held it out toward her.
What's this?
I told you, a memory card. It was under the bomb we found in the lab. I think whoever set the bomb
Really?
found it. Yeah. I don't know what's on it, though. We couldn't find any kind of memory card either.
I guess we can't really use it then. Oh, wait a second. You know what? I think I might have seen something.
Huh?
Yes, I remember. The infirmary. I saw it when I was searching the infirmary with Theo and Quark. There was a memory card just like that one.
Then
Yes, I think we can see what's on it. The computer there should be able to read it.
Lunar and I exploded into the infirmary, nearly running into Alice, Clover, and Ted Miyagi. Quark was there as well, of course, but he was just as we'd left him, asleep on the bed.
What are you doing here?
I opened my mouth to retort, then thought better of it. But I really wanted people to start trusting each other. Well, real change starts at home. As quickly as I could, I explained the second bomb and the memory card and how we'd come to the infirmary in hopes that we could discover the contents of the ladder.
Okay.
Then stick it in already!
Go ahead.
Right. Just as Luna had said, there was a small slot under the screen. Exactly the right size to fit a memory card. Within moments, the screen was filled with what appeared to be random letters. What is this?
6 rows, 22 letters each.
It looks like the odd rows use one set of letters, and the even rows use another set.
Yes, you're right.
In other words, the first two rows just repeat. Yeah.
Is this some kind of code or
It
something?
doesn't look random to me. Think there might be a pattern. I just don't know what it is.
Was there anything else on there? No, it doesn't look like it.
So all we get is this gibberish. Hey Alice, you haven't said anything for a while. What's up?
Does any of this look familiar to you, Clover?
What do you mean?
Have you seen something like this before? Maybe during your training?
Training?
This is...
So you do recognize it.
All right, knock it off, you two. How about you share it with the rest of the class?
Alice sighed and stretched her neck from side to side.
I believe this is an encoded message from a terrorist organization.
What?
They call themselves the Myrmidons.
Myrmidons. For some reason, I felt like I'd heard that name before.
What are the Myrmidons?
Put simply, they're a bunch of thugs who are trying to destroy or dismantle most of human civilization.
So this thing we're looking at, you think it's theirs?
Well, they have a number of different codes, but I do think this is one of them.
Then the bomb? It was set by one of the Myrmidons, wasn't it?
Yes, well, I can't say for sure, of course, but it seems likely.
Damn. I got a ton of questions for you. But let me start with this one. The heck does that thing say?
I don't know. How am I supposed to decode it? I don't have the key. Without a key, it would take literally hundreds of years to decode.
What about you, Clover?
Well, if Alice doesn't know how, I sure don't.
See,
Not much we can do then. We can come back to that code stuff later. Got another question. Alice, Clover, who the hell are you? Why do you know about this code? You told me your job was to eliminate enemies of the state or something like that. Just what the hell kind of job is that? I think it's time you told us what you do.
Sorry, but I can't.
Why not?
Because you might be one of them. You might be the person who set the bomb.
That's idiotic. Of course I'm not.
Really? And where's your proof? For all I know, you're my enemy. I can't tell you anything.
I'm not your enemy. I'm your ally. I'm your friend. I just want all of us to get out of here. Just, please, tell us. Please. We need to find out who did this so we can all escape. But we have too little information. We need your help. Fine. You won't tell us about yourself? Then just tell us about the Myrmidons. What else do you know about them?
I'm sorry.
Before I could blink, she leapt up and ran out of the room. Hey, wait, Alice! Took off after her.
How long are you going to keep following me?
Until you tell me what you know.
Then why don't you just ask Clover? You already
Clover?
know she works with me.
Well, yeah.
Then why don't you...
I wanted to hear it from you.
Why?
That's a good question. Remember the crew quarters? Or this garden? We got paired up for 2 separate rounds. That means I've spent more time with you than anybody else here. Maybe that's it. I guess I'm just curious about you.
What are you talking about?
She spun around to hide it, but I caught a blush of red on her cheeks. We walked down the path to where it ended, next to the pond. I stayed silent. Alice sat down on the bench. We gazed at the smooth surface of the pond for several minutes before she began to speak.
You don't hate me?
But what? Why?
I tried to kill you.
You mean in the AB
Yes.
game?
I was so scared. Who wouldn't be? Kidnapped and locked up, forced to play some sort of bizarre game. And then we found that bomb. I know I probably sounded calm, but as soon as we found that thing, all I wanted to do was run away from it as fast as I could. Things just went downhill from there.
What do you mean?
I remember hearing that Quark had collapsed and running to the infirmary with everyone else. When I got there, I realized I couldn't understand what anyone was saying. And everything looked... I don't know how to describe it. It was like watching a video on fast forward, only it was real. Then I started to feel like... It's hard to explain. I guess you could say I didn't feel like I was myself, and it only got worse.
That was probably the radical set.
Yes, I think so. I don't remember much after that. But when I woke up in the infirmary, suddenly all that fear was back. So All I could think about was getting out of this place as fast as I could. It never even crossed my mind that it could kill you. God help me, even if it had, I don't think I would have cared. See? I'm horrible. You hate me, don't you? Just do it!
What? Do what?
Kill me! Get it over with!
The hell, Alice? I'm not gonna kill you. I don't even hate you.
You're lying! I could have killed you. I would have killed you.
Come on, calm down. No one's killing anyone. A single tear rolled down Alice's cheek. Then another, and another, leaving shining lines across her face. When I reached out, I saw her tense, just slightly. Slowly, I brushed my thumb across her cheek and off, taking her tears with it.
Why are you doing this? You know, you kind of remind me of my father.
That's who you were after, right? The people who killed your dad?
Yes.
Did they have anything to do with the Myrmidons?
Will you promise not to tell Clover that I cried?
Come on.
If you keep your mouth shut, I'll tell you what you want to know. About myself. And about the Myrmidons. Deal?
Sure. My lips are sealed.
Really?
What? Crying? I don't remember Eddie crying.
Good. All right then.
Alice took a deep breath and began. My father is Egyptian, but my mother is French. They met while my mother was in Egypt on vacation and married shortly thereafter. When I was 3, we all moved to the US. My father was a scientist and his field was cloning. He was recruited by an American lab, which was why we moved. Both of my parents had used English around me from the time I was born, so I didn't have any problems adapting to life in the United States. By my 9th birthday, we'd been there for 6 years. That was when it happened. In the middle of the day, my mother showed up at school. Her eyes were red and puffy, but she didn't say anything to me on the drive home. When we arrived, there were several policemen there to meet us. My father had always been a very punctual man, and when dinner time came and went with no sign of him, even I began to realize something terrible had happened. It wasn't until 7 years later that I finally learned the truth. My father's lab had been attacked by terrorists, and he had been kidnapped. For the rest of my childhood, my mother raised me by herself. I didn't realize it then, but it must have been incredibly difficult for her. As a single mother alone in a country where any relatives were a transatlantic flight away. She did her best not to let me see it, but every so often, when she thought she was alone, the mask would fall away, and every line of her face I could see exhaustion and loneliness. As much as I missed my father, it was those moments that made me wish more than anything that he'd never been taken. Fortunately, I was an excellent student and did especially well in math. I earned a full ride scholarship straight out of high school and spent the next several years studying. After graduation, I took a job with the Department of Defense, hoping that they might have the resources to help me look for my father. I was immediately assigned to the Special Office of Internal Security. Their purpose is to investigate and sometimes deal with terrorist organizations and other serious threats to the state. I could tell my mother wasn't happy about my decision, but she chose to remain silent about it. Eventually, I learned that the terrorist organization that had taken my father was none other than the Myrmidons, although at the time that name didn't mean anything to me. They were suspected of human cloning. Specifically, it was thought that they had been using cloning techniques to copy their most useful members and expand their ranks. The Myrmidons apparently believed that they could use cloning to create a new race of humans. Now at least I knew the reason for my father's abduction. The commander of the Myrmidons is a man named Left. We knew his name and his gender, but not his appearance or his age. The Myrmidons were closely associated with a cult known as Free the Soul. We believe that Free the Soul provides their funding, but trying to pin any kind of misdeeds on the cult leaders, a man named Brother is likely trying to nail Jello to a wall. Brother is supposed to be fairly advanced in years, and rumor says he's old. He's so old he can't even get out of bed. Unfortunately, his mind seems to be as sharp as ever. At that point, I hit a wall. I knew the Myrmidons had been behind my father's kidnapping, but that was all I could learn about them. Then one day I got a tip that some of them were hiding in a building in the Nevada desert. I headed out immediately. On the way there, my car had some engine troubles and stalled out. I was trying to decide what to do when an SUV appeared out of nowhere. I'll give you one guess who was behind the steering wheel. It was Clover. Clover. That was the first time we met. There were 4 other people in the car with her, and when I asked them what they were doing, I got what was just about the last answer I'd expected. They told me they'd been locked up inside of that very building I'd been on my way to investigate, and that they were currently in pursuit of the people who had kidnapped them in the first place. My priorities shifted very quickly. After a short discussion, I convinced them to allow me to come along. My hope was to find the people they were chasing, who I was certain were Myrmidons. In the end, however, we were unable to track them down. In fact, I still don't know where they might have gone. Eventually, I took Clover and her companions to SOIS headquarters. We decided that involving the police would only complicate things. After some questioning, it was determined that the people who had instigated this particular event were not connected to the Myrmidons. We did, however, discover that the mysterious disappearance and subsequent reappearance of several children 9 years prior was connected to Free the Soul. There was also a 6th person in the SUV, although they weren't riding in it per se. A middle-aged man, who I'll just call H for now, had been bound and placed in the trunk. According to the other 4, he had been behind the disappearance of the children 9 years earlier. We also learned that his pharmaceutical company, a major player in the world stage, was effectively controlled by Free the Soul. More specifically, I suppose, H was a member of the Free the Soul, and very committed to their cause. So, why had he kidnapped all those children? Apparently, it had been part of an experiment designed to test the ability of certain people to access what's called the morphogenic field. I don't imagine you ever heard of it before, so I'll try and give you a quick rundown. Simply put, these people can access this sort of field that allows their consciousness to resonate with the consciousness of certain other people. To be honest, it might be simpler to just call it telepathy. The SOIS had heard of this particular ability before and actually used it in a number of investigations, so I wasn't surprised to learn of its existence. I was shocked, however, to learn that these experiments had been carried out by a member of Free the Soul. If that was the case, then Brother must have known about it. The thought of him discovering a way to control and harness that power was terrifying. It wasn't too long after the incident in Nevada that other tips about the Myrmidons crossed my desk. This time it claimed that the Myrmidons intended to launch a large-scale biological terrorist attack. My bosses decided that we needed more agents to deal with the threat of the magnitude, and Clover was recruited. Because she'd been a test subject in H's experiment, we knew she had the ability to access the morphogenic field, and we wanted to put that ability to use. After several months of training, she was sent on her first mission. She would be tasked with the infiltration and investigation of a Myrmidon cloning lab. I was assigned to be her commanding officer. I hoped that our investigation might also give me a lead on my father's whereabouts. At last, I had a chance to find out what had happened to him. I wouldn't let that chance pass me by. Perhaps that was what kept me from noticing the truth. The whole operation was a trap. The lab was fake and Clover was captured almost immediately. I got there as fast as I could, but when I arrived, the building was only an empty shell. All of the conspirators who had pretended to be researchers and the like had already fled. I searched forensically for Clover until at last, in a basement room, I found her. She had been tied to a chair, but on the floor next to her was another body. It was my father. He looked as if he had just been dumped there, and when I got to him, his body was already cold. It was covered in dark, ugly bruises. It wasn't until later that I learned that he had died from ruptured organs and internal bleeding. They had beaten him to death. As soon as Clover had been captured, a Myrmidon in a mask had come to visit her. He said that unless she wanted to end up like my father, he would have left. She would leave them alone and tell her masters, the SOIS, to do likewise. In retrospect, they must have known who I was and who my father was. That was why they'd killed him. Perhaps they thought that they were sending a message to me. Or that once he was gone, I'd lose my reason for chasing them. They were very wrong. I took Clover with me and left. I tried to console myself with the fact that I had at least been able to save her. Sometime later, I received a call from the coroner. He told me there was something I needed to see. There in the morgue was my father, cold and pale on the steel table. I could barely stand to look at him, but the coroner insisted. On his arm were 2 rows of numbers, comprised of 8s and 9s. It took me a moment to recognize my father's handwriting. He had carved them into his own skin. On his chest was another message. They were letters this time, not numbers. Not many, just enough to make a short sentence. I love you, Alice. I broke down crying right there in the morgue. They were the first tears I'd shed since the operation had started, and there was no stopping them. There would be no forgiveness. Not for the monsters who'd put my father through this. They destroyed my family. I would make them pay, even if I had to die to do it. That night I made a promise to myself. I would avenge my father. It didn't take long to figure out that the numbers he'd written were latitude and longitude. They pointed to a chemical factory that had been disguised as an abandoned building. Further investigation revealed that it was the mother lode we'd been looking for, the headquarters of the Myrmidons. I think my father must have known how things would turn out. Knowing he was going to die, he'd written the directions to our enemy's fortress on his own body. He'd sacrificed too much for me to waste this opportunity with recklessness. This time our operation would succeed. This time, I wouldn't let my excitement for Clover or any of my other agents in danger. So we took our time. We gathered information, we did our research, and we planned. Finally, we were ready. December 25th, 2028 was going to be the day we finally set foot inside the Myrmidon stronghold. But then on the 22nd, only 3 days before the operation was scheduled to begin, a man in a gas mask appeared. So you inhaled that gas, passed out, and woke up here in the AB room?
Yes. Well, there it is. Everything that's happened with the Myrmidons and me. I left a few of the details out, of course, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Thanks. She gave me a sad sort of smile and stood up.
We should go back.
Not yet. Your show explained a lot, but there's still one big question.
Which is?
Who here is a Myrmidon? One of us planted the bombs. And based off the code we found, it's pretty clear that person is a Myrmidon. Right?
Yes.
And I agree that we need to figure out who they are.
What do you propose we do?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Do you have any
clues? Well, if I could decrypt that code, it might tell us something, but...
How can we do that?
I told you. We need a key. Without that, it's pointless.
What's the key?
A key is a key. It allows you to sort of unlock a code. The Myrmidons usually use this huge string of numbers as a key.
Wait. A long string of numbers? Could that be... Seven 8153 61098 83809 42419 90551.
What the hell?
I was almost as surprised as she was. The numbers had just kind of appeared in my mind, and I was saying them before I knew what I was doing. Alice looked at me incredulously, and I stared back.
Where did... Wait. Can you say that again?
78153 61098 83809 42419 90551.
That's 198,449,351 to the third power.
What?
That number you just told me. Prime factor decomposition on that number gets you 198,449,351 to the third power.
You're talking about reducing an integer to a series of prime numbers that you multiply together to get it, right? Like, if you have 30, then you'd get 2 times 3 times 5,
exactly.
right?
You probably learned that in junior high, right?
So you're saying that 198,493,351 is a prime, and if you multiply it by itself 3 times, you get 7815361098838094241990551.
Yes.
Don't tell me you just did all that in your head.
I did do all of that in my head. Simple mental arithmetic.
What? No way. That's impossible.
I told you, I'm better at math than most people.
That's not better at math.
Look at you. You just recited a huge string of numbers. That seems pretty astounding, too. Where did you find that number anyway?
I didn't know what to say. What would I tell her? That it just came to me?
Can't tell me, huh? Fine. I'm pretty sure that's the key to the code, though. I know the Myrmidons use prime factors for their keys, and there aren't a lot of 25-digit numbers that turn out to be the third power of a prime number. I think there's a very good chance that number you memorized was specifically created by someone.
Could you explain that with small words?
Well, look at the prime factors of your number. 198,449,351 to the third power. I think that's our hint for cracking the code. You still don't get it? Try to remember the code we saw in the infirmary. What did it say on the monitor?
I think the first row was TQUJHNMTEONERAXDFMIOBP.
And the second row?
BYOL, WXY, PXFP, ZEQGTKRTLED. Thanks. Then they just repeat.
Wow, you've got a pretty impressive memory. We could really use someone like you back at the...
You could too! Well, keep going. How do we decode that?
You use 198,449,351 to point you to the right letters.
How do we do that?
Well, the first number is 1, so take the first letter. The next number is 9, so go 9 letters over from the first one. Just keep going until you get something. Make sense?
I ran over what you said in my head. The prime numbers Alice had given me was 198,449,351. So what would we get if we picked out letters like she'd explained? The first letter would be C from the top left. Then you'd move 9 to the right, which would give you 0. Or O. Then 8 more to the right. Eventually we'd get a word. And that word was... Are you kidding me? You have 6 chances to succeed and fail and the game is over. The code sheet won't be displayed when you input your answer, so it would be wise to solve it now. The key is 198. I am not going to go through that. Holy crap. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, alright. Give me 1 moment here. Because I'm not going to spend Okay, hold on. I'm going to solve this. Wait. Is it really? I did it. Completed. That's it. That's the
Completed?
answer.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I did exactly what you told me to do, and the word I got is completed. Well, actually, it's completed, completed, completed. The code and the letters repeat every 2 lines. It just repeats.
Well, I can't remember the code like you can, but if you're certain, I believe you.
I'm definitely certain.
All right then. I wonder what completed is supposed to mean, though.
I don't know. What? Aside from the obvious, you mean? I'm guessing here it means mission complete. So that's what the transmitter was for.
Huh? What are you talking about? What transmitter?
I barely even heard her. Suddenly my mind was full of memories that hadn't been there a moment before. It was like a wave had washed away the sand, revealing a bed of precious gems underneath.
Holy Father, Holy Brother, Holy Master, my sacred mission is at last complete. With these 2 hands, mankind is saved. I am your will made flesh. In your name, I give thanks.
Damn it. Why hadn't I realized it before? I could remember a series of numbers, but not this. At least I remembered it now. Dio was a member of the Myrmidons. And not just any member, he was their leader. That meant he had to be the one who had planted the bombs.
Hey, are you listening to me? Then answer my question. What the hell was that? What's this about a transmitter?
I didn't trust myself to try and explain it to her. More than likely, she'd just think I was insane. I mean, I could barely make sense of the sudden influx of new information.
Wait. Don't tell me you're one of the Myrmidons.
If I was, do you really think I'd reveal myself like this?
Point.
Out of nowhere, Clover appeared. By the way, Clover, Alice was crying a moment ago.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Really?
We're all down in the floor B warehouse. Well, all of us but Luna and Clark.
Why?
We've got 45 minutes until the white door.
I know that!
Oh, okay. Hey, wait a minute. I thought UK and Quark didn't know about the white door.
Tenmyoji told us about them. He said he'd show us where they were, so we all followed him down to the floor B warehouse.
I'm assuming you left Quark with Luna?
Yeah. Anyway, when we showed up, Vi and Kay were already there. Well,
So?
all of a sudden, Vi, Tenmyoji, and Dio all started yelling at each other.
Why? Did something happen?
According to Clover, the last AB game had been the cause of their fight. Even though Tenmyoji only had 1 BP, Phi had chosen Betray. They started a fight, and since Dio had pressed Betray on behalf of his team, eventually he got dragged in too.
That seems odd. Vi only had 1 BP too. Her choice seems like a perfectly valid defensive move.
But you didn't say that in the beginning.
Ugh. Just come with me. Kay's trying to calm them down, but there's only one of him.
Hey, come on, Alice, let's go.
Coming.
All 4 of them were still there when we arrived. They seemed to have calmed down a bit, but the tension in the air was almost visible. I felt like I'd stepped into a room full of flammable gas. Even the smallest spark could turn the whole place into a raging inferno. Even Kay, usually so calm and collected, was standing ramrod straight with his hand balled into a fist at his side. I looked at Alice, pursed my lips, and then headed over to the angry knot of people occupying most of the room. Clover told me what was going on. This whole thing is stupid. You need to knock it off.
Stupid? What about this is stupid? We're talking about my life, you self-righteous dick.
I know, but yelling at each other isn't going to solve your problem. The best thing for us to do right now is to trust each other and get through this. Wouldn't you agree?
Hard to trust someone who tried to kill me.
Same to you. I told you letting Dio vote was a stupid idea. What did you think he was gonna do? You might as well have pressed the button yourself.
I couldn't just leave Quark alone.
That's no excuse. And where do you get off telling me I shouldn't have picked Betray? Did you even think that through? What, I was supposed to pick Ally? If I'd done that, I'd be dead right now.
I could say the same thing to you. Damn good thing Dio didn't choose Ally.
Please, that's enough from both of you. Cygnus right. This isn't the time to be bickering with each other.
Oh, you don't get to talk. You tried to betray Clover and escape on your own.
Perhaps. But I think that's better than merely killing someone.
Well, I only did it so that she wouldn't kill Tenmyoji.
Bullshit, Dio. Ah! God damn it! Enough already! I rode with Hewer and my voice echoed and rebounded off the walls of the warehouse. Everyone fell silent. I didn't know how long that silence would last, so I decided to put it all on the table. There was only one way I was going to be able to take control of the situation. Guys, listen to me. We really don't have time for this. I was met with a number of glares, but I soldiered on. See, the thing is, I figured out who planted the bombs.
What? Is this what you were talking about earlier?
Sort of, yeah. I know which one of you it is.
Well, spit it out then.
Please, explain what's going on here.
I don't think I need to. They're going to admit their guilt in just a few minutes.
What?
You're all going to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Or I guess I should say Tio's mouth.
What are you on? You think I set those bombs?
Yes, I do.
Hey, if you're gonna accuse me, you better have some pretty damn good evidence, pal.
Well, I'm not accusing you. I'm just stating a fact.
Yeah? Where the hell did you get that fact?
Fun as it was, I knew taunting alone wouldn't be enough to make Dio confess. He just played dumb. He was good at it, and I'd get nothing. That meant I was going to have to trick him. Well, you see, I'm actually from Free the Soul.
Free the Soul? What's that? Some kind of hippie shoe company?
Don't play dumb, Dio. Or should I call you Left? Brother ordered me to come here to keep an eye on you. It was quick, but for just a moment I saw his eyes switch. I leapt on that moment of weakness like a hungry dog on a steak. Fine. Skepticism is understandable, admirable, but perhaps this will convince you. I pressed forward, pulling out every fact I could remember. I told Dio about Brother's background and how his younger brother Left had been murdered. I mentioned casually that the Myrmidons were all clones of a single person. So, still not convinced? How about this? 781536109838094241990551. Do a little prime factor decomposition on that and you'll get 198,449,351 to the third power. If I'm not who I say I am, how on earth could I possibly know that?
No, that's not possible.
Finally. So, let's start over, shall we? I was sent here to watch your every move. Since our wise and noble brother doesn't trust you, he suspects betrayal.
You're lying!
I assure you I'm not. But if you don't believe me, why don't you go outside and call him yourself with your training?
No! No! You have to be lying! Brother trusts me! That's why he chose me for this mission! Why would he make me the leader of the Myrmidons if he...
Huh? Sorry, what was that?
Said, why would he have made me the leader of the Myrmidons if...
I grinned.
Wait. The hell? Are you fucking kidding me?
Sorry, Dio. I've never even seen brother.
What the hell was all that? How did you know all those things?
Don't know. Maybe I was divinely inspired.
Give me that shit!
What's going on?
What are these Myrmidons?
Dio and I stared at one another while Clover and Tenmyoji quickly explained to Phi and K about the memory card and the number 2 bomb, and about the code we found that was from a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons.
So you mean to say someone from the Myrmidons planted the bombs?
And Dio pretty much just admitted to doing it?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Bastards. I'll never forgive you.
I heard a low, furious muttering behind me and turned to see Alice, her lips pulled back into a snarl.
I am going to kill you!
Her voice rose to a scream as she charged towards Dio. He ducked out of the way smoothly and pulled something from his pocket.
Whoa there. I like my women a little feisty. But you're taking it a little too far, sweetheart. Tone it down.
What?
You see this? You know what it is, don't you?
Oh my god. Is that the detonator?
Exactly. And I assume you know what happens if I press this button?
Yes. I'm guessing it'll set off both of the bombs.
Well, I wouldn't say both.
So there's 3 bombs.
You mean there's still a number 1 bomb we haven't found?
Correct. And there's one more, too.
So there's 4.
No. There are 4 bombs?
Exactly. I planted 4 bombs. They're the ones numbered 1, 2, and 3, but there's also one more. Bomb number 0. Add all that up, and you're looking at about 4 tons of explosive power. Those go off, and it's all over. That's enough oomph to turn this whole place into a smoking crater.
Aren't you forgetting something?
That'd kill you too.
So, I'm ready for that. I've got spares.
Spares? Is that what Sigma was talking about?
Yeah, clones.
I heard Alice whisper something to Clover.
Let's go, Clover. Show him all that training wasn't for nothing.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Right.
Before I had a chance to ask them what was going on, they moved.
Die, you bastard! Yeah!
She roared and leapt toward Dio, Clover following just behind. Alice threw a punch at Dio's face. As he dodged, Clover spun out from behind her. Dio grunted and turned to focus on Alice, but Clover darted in and snatched the detonator from his hand.
Clover, get him! Right!
Sigma, catch!
Huh? Before I could respond, Clover had thrown the detonator at me. I scrambled to grab it out of the air and held it in my chest.
Damn it! Stop! Let me go! Still let go of me, you asshole!
Yelling didn't do him any good, and Dio found himself subdued by a skillful teamwork of Alice and Clover. Strangely though, once they had a hold of him, he stopped struggling. I was reminded of a gazelle with its neck in the mouth of a lion. He had surrendered. Or did he have some trick up his sleeve? It didn't feel right. I didn't have to wait long for my misgivings to prove true. The detonator in my hand suddenly began to flash. What?
Ha! Serves you right.
What are you laughing at?
You, her, all of you. God, you're stupid.
What? What?
See that detonator you threw to Sigma? You activated it. If it gets more than a meter away from me, it sets itself off. We figured someone might try to take it away, so we put in a little safeguard. Since you two were kind enough to take it away from me, the bombs have gone from remote control to countdown timer. Go ahead and destroy the detonator if you want. Won't make any difference now. The bombs are gonna go off no matter what.
How long do we have?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Oh no.
My condolences.
What can we do to stop them?
I told you that already. First, we need the device that allows us to input information. Then we plug it into each bomb and enter the codes.
Hey Alice, who the hell are you? How do you know all this?
None of your damn business. Just tell me where the input device is.
Well, that's none of your damn business. Fuck! Stop! You're gonna break it!
Just break it.
Of course. That's the plan.
Please, stop!
Just tell me what I want to know.
Okay, I'll tell you. It's in my coat, the right-hand pocket.
Clover, check it out. Right.
She nodded and started digging through his pockets. After a few minutes...
It's no use! There's nothing here!
Did you lie to me?
No, I swear, keep looking.
Oh, wait. There is something in here.
Clover pulled out her hand from her pocket and held it out. Is that a pill, like for medicine?
Hey, what is this?
Huh? I can't see it. Bring it over here.
Clover frowned and moved closer to Dio, holding the pill out toward him. Suddenly he moved, his right hand snaking out to grab the pill from Clover's hand. Before anyone could react, he shoved it into his mouth. I heard a tiny crack as he bit down on it. Almost immediately, he grimaced in pain.
Shit!
What? What was that?
Poison, I guess.
What?
Damn! How could I be so stupid?
His eyes rolled up into his head and flecks of spittle began to trickle out from the corners of his mouth. I grabbed him by the hair and shook. What the hell are you doing? Where's the input device?
Lost it. In my couch. Back home.
Don't screw with me.
Fine. Don't tell us. How about you give us the deactivation codes instead?
Deactivation? You guys are persistent. Fine. Not gonna do you much good anyway. I'll tell you. But you only get one. This is the deactivation code for bomb 3. Ready? LXQ LHC NMR.
What about the other 3? Tell us the other 3. You didn't even seem to hear me.
My body will be a part of the foundation of a bright future.
His voice was weak and more foam was dribbling out of his mouth.
Such a beautiful world. May brother live in everlasting glory.
Those were the last words Dio spoke. He died with a strange, happy smile.
He only gave us the password for one of the bombs. This is bad.
I have the code for all of them. Oops. Come on.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
How much time have we got?
25 minutes.
Are you sure?
Yes. When he told us the time, I checked my bracelet. It said exactly 30 minutes.
You mean the bombs are gonna go off the same time the next set of doors opens?
Yes. The time on your bracelet is the time we have left.
Oh, so 25 minutes.
This isn't good. I was hoping that we might be able to escape through the white doors, but
It takes 5 minutes for the primary door to open and close. So,
yes, I know. There's no way we can get through them before the explosion happens.
Well, there's no point just standing around. We should start looking. We need 3 things. The password input device.
And the remaining 2 bombs, right?
we also need passwords for all the bombs other than number 3.
Exactly.
Maybe Dio has a note or
Hold
something.
on. Let me check.
She knelt down and quickly checked his pockets and sleeves and sat back underneath for a second.
Damn, he's clean.
She looked pale.
Then we'll just have to hope we find it somewhere. Tenmyoji, can you go tell Luna what's happened?
Right. I'm on it.
Good. The rest of you, let's move out. We can do this. Let's go.
We all took off at a run, heading to different parts of the building. But all of our search turned up nothing. As we searched, the clock kept ticking. Then at last, the chromatic doors opened.
Chromatic doors have opened. 5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
Our time had run out. We watched the white doors open. Were they doors to heaven or to hell? The thought barely had time to flutter through my mind before everything went white. We didn't even have time to say goodbye. 1,000 emotions flooded my brain in those last moments. Why? How? How had we ended up this way? Then a blistering wave of heat, like the surface of the sun itself, wiped out any lingering thoughts. My consciousness slipped away into a bottomless pool of darkness. Neither heaven nor hell, only the void. And there goes the credits. I'm pretty sure that's going to be Alice's ending. I'm pretty sure it's Alice's. have emojis ending. You don't have Sigma. You have Dio's ending. This should be Alice's ending. So I should already have 3 out of the 4 bombs. So this is Alice's ending. Okay. So we need Sigma's ending. We need Quark's ending. No, Sigma's ending's right when that one ending right there where he's about to die, but he has to try to save himself. So I'm missing Sigma's, Quark's, and who's missing there? And Phi. Phi is the other one. Okay. We're gonna end that there, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna have to start at the beginning of another branch, which is going to bring us to Quark's. I'm going to say either Quark's or Phi's ending, because we need to get those 2 endings before we can get Sigma's ending. Alright, so let's go over the ending video. Okay, I'm going to go find a raid target. See what I got on Twitch. I'm going to raid Karoshin. She just went live. That's her link. And there's the hashtag. Alright, if you're on YouTube, give Shin a like and a subscribe. If you're on Twitch, give her a follow, and we are out.